Welcome to Analyze Fish. I'm Harris Whittles. I'll be your tour guide through the cosmos. My apologies.
Changing it up.
Ice, yeah.
Ice, baby?
Ice, baby.
Why are you saying ice?
I'm cold.
Okay, I'll get you some ice.
No,
you only have to ask once.
Why would I want ice if I'm cold? Saying ice. It's freezing in here.
Okay.
All right, listen. Scott Ackerman's here. I'm Harris Whittles.
Welcome to Analyze Fish.
We just put out the long-awaited Hollywood Bowl episode of the show.
I thought it was Hollywood Bowel.
No, there's
because it's deep in the bowels of Hollywood.
There's no E in it, so why would it?
There is when I spell it.
Hey, Harris. What do you think is the Hollywood bowel? Like, what's the bowel of Hollywood?
That's a great question. What is the large intestine of Hollywood? I think it's Highland.
Oh, Coanga Pass.
Oh boy, tell me about it. As twisty as that can get.
Ugh.
Don't drive that at night with more than 1.5 drinks in you. Hey Harris, welcome back. A lot of people might be surprised that we have another episode. We thought the last episode might have been the series.
It sounded
finale.
like it. We were acting like it, but then I thought about it a lot. Probably 3 hours I was thinking about this. And Fish declared that they were breaking up in 2000. Right?
I don't know. Are you saying right?
I don't know.
Well,
we'll never know now. Okay, listen, they did. Then, 2009, they decided, hey, we want to play together again.
Sure.
And then, I'm sure someone was like, they said they broke up.
Why did they say they broke up in the first place?
Because they truly thought it was the end. They didn't want to be a nostalgia act anymore.
What does that meaning? They just wanted to play, they didn't want to play the same old songs?
Yeah, they felt like the scene had outgrown their purpose. Like, people just wanted to hear their old shit. People wanted to show up and take their little droogies. And Trey, it took a toll on the band.
I don't know. What? Please try to explain this a little better.
I'm saying because I feel like we've covered this before.
Okay, but not everyone has listened to every single episode of this.
Well, then I don't fucking care about them. This isn't for them.
But they haven't listened to it. Remember, we put out an episode a couple of weeks ago, but before that it had been a year.
Yeah.
So we probably covered this 2 years ago, but
right. Okay.
Try to recap a little better. So they broke up.
Trey, not unlike yours truly, had, went down some icy terrain in regards to drugs, opiates, and decided to call it quits with the band for his health.
Okay, so he did it for his health. The Steve Brule special.
I can't. I've never talked to them truly in person about why they broke up.
Why didn't we ask Mike Gordon about this when we were backstage?
Yes. Why didn't you ask him like the worst question to ask him? Actually, the second worst in comparison to what you did ask him, which was how was.
We'll recap this, by the way. But in any case, so they broke up. And now they're back together.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of bands break up, and then once they get the itch, or a financial itch, usually, let's be honest. I don't think that's the case with Fish, because I think they're doing fine.
Okay.
But Kiss or someone, whoever breaks up, and then is like, let's make more money. Anyways, that's why I'm okay we're mirroring Fish's career.
I see. Here's your point.
Yeah, so this is kind of beautiful that we're coming back together for this one thing. That was our finale, but...
And we're doing this for the money?
Yeah. Don't we have a lot of sponsors on this show?
I don't believe so.
We have one?
I doubt it. We'll take a break and we'll see if we have one.
Not even like AdamandEve.com, that dildo company?
No, it's actually AdamandSteve.com, unfortunately. The double-ended dildo company.
What's the other one? There's Squarespace?
Oh, the other double-ended dildo company.
That's the other dildo
company. They have square ends to their dildos, which makes it really uncomfortable.
You know what?
It's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole.
Listen, Fuck them. This is sponsored by Squarespace. I'm saying that now, even if they don't.
Squarespace, please don't be angry at me.
We're only giving them free publicity.
That's true. We're saying Squarespace over and over. And dildo.
Yeah.
So they can't complain.
Did I tell you how when I was 15, I went to see AssCat in Houston, Texas? They were touring.
Oh, yes, you did tell me. Tell the listener, please. I love this story. This is so terrible.
And I went, so they were there for 2 nights. This is Matt Besser, Amy Poehler, Matt
AssCat is an improv show, yeah, with the UCB.
And I loved them. And I was like, I want them to think I'm funny.
So what you did is you watched the first night.
I watched the first night. I heard all the questions they asked the audience, like for suggestions and stuff. Went home, wrote what I thought were fucking hilarious responses. Came back the second
because you thought
night.
they would ask the exact same questions.
I wasn't wrong, because they asked. One of the questions was, "Give us an object," right?
I mean, that's really a command. It's not really a question.
That's true. Fucked up.
But okay, so they came out and did pretty much the same patter.
Yeah.
And you had
not the same patter, but they set up their show in the same way, where
yes.
they say, "Give us a suggestion, give us an object," and I said, "Double-sided dildo." So to date, the hackiest thing I've ever said. Matt Besser was visibly pissed off from the stage. Like they hear that every city they go to.
Right, because some jerk thinks they're being funny
yes.
everywhere they go and goes, toilet or double-sided dildo.
Yeah, and then they were like, no, later in the show, "Give us a pet peeve of yours." And I yelled, "Herpes."
How is herpes a pet peeve?
That's what Besser said. I said, "How is that a pet peeve?" And then he said, "Can you get the lights up on this guy?"
Ah!
And then they put the light on me, and they were like, "Oh, you're like 14. You're just being an asshole."
Ah!
And I was like, I haven't told Besser this.
You haven't told Besser this? Okay, Twitter snitches out there.
Yeah.
Get a hold of Besser.
Yeah,
do you think Besser remembers?
Apologize. Full circle, I did AssCat 2 weeks ago. It was a great time.
Sure, and you're really good at it. And what if someone were to say herpes or...
I would call them a fucking hack, and it would, yeah.
But this show isn't about improv, it's about the band Fish. And let's recap a little bit of what happened. We put out an episode a couple of weeks ago, and the Hollywood Bowl episode where, about 10 months late, we went to Hollywood Bowl 10 months ago and recorded it. And we put out the episode a few weeks ago, and in that episode we not only played tapes from the Hollywood Bowl, but we also had some special guests, including a guest that we will have on the show later, Mike Hanford. And you also let the bombshell drop that you, Harris Whittles, as you alluded to earlier, since that episode went to rehabilitation for opiates and basically just chilling, being a stone cold chiller.
I chilled too hard, Scott.
And how has the response been? Because I know that you were, I guess, maybe nervous isn't exactly the right term, but you were anxious about how it was going to be received. How
yeah, it's always interest. Like, for a podcast like this, where like it's about this, band that you do drugs at their shows. I fed you drugs for the, people look at me a certain way, so it was interesting to kind of be
what are you talking about? How do they look at you?
Like a drug guy.
You're the drug guy.
And I always have been a drug guy.
Right. You growing up, even since that AssCat?
Since I was like 12.
Since you were taking drugs since you were 12 years old?
I was smoking pot.
At 12 years old?
Yeah.
Who gives you pot when you're 12 years old?
Gerardo.
Wait, the famous singer?
Yeah.
What is he doing coming by your junior high and giving you drugs?
I don't know. I'm not going to ask questions.
Stick to Rico Suave, Gerardo.
So yeah, I was smoking pot. I got to get
Okay. But do they know that you went to rehab?
Yeah.
Okay, so they're cool with it.
Oh, they were super chill about it. I mean, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened.
But hey, look, I mean, what were you going to say that you were upset that your family got here?
I was just, I got filleted in middle school at a young age.
What age?
Same age.
12 years old?
Yeah.
Did you have, like, were you smoking pot out of an apple core?
Yeah, basically.
And you're getting a beater?
I got a bajangle.
Mr. Bojangles.
Yeah, we were like going to bar mitzvahs and getting bajangles.
Who gave it to you?
Rabbis. No, just
Rabbi's eyes?
Gerardo, mostly.
No, who?
Gerardo would come by, deal us weed, suck her little dicks.
They were little.
I didn't have like, we didn't have like a ton of pubes yet, but we were getting blowjobs.
The best part of a blowjob.
I know.
Getting pubes in your mouth.
So I remember like pudding, ice. I remember just taking my penis through like the boxer hole so they couldn't see what I was working with like pubically, so they couldn't see that,
They, when you say they, you're talking about
Gerardo.
Give me the real story. Stop with this.
It's all real except for the Gerardo. I'm not gonna name names.
Names. Come on.
It was like that movie Kids, but like a Jewish suburban Houston version of Kids.
Okay, so you how old was the person doing this to you?
Couldn't have been older than 60. I mean, much younger, but just couldn't have been older than 60.
Okay, it would be physically impossible unless there was some sort of Benjamin Button thing.
Yeah, she was in our grade and stuff. So,
oh, okay, right. So, well, that's amazing. I mean, that's
point being, all this stuff will eventually lead up to you going to rehab at some point.
I thought you were gonna say going to fish.
Well, that too. I mean, so it all goes hand in hand. I led a fast-paced life.
You were sexualized at an early age.
Yeah, and you need to. Yeah, I was going around the racetrack pretty fast. I had this like good stuff.
What? You smoked pot for a while. At what point did you graduate to?
I graduated.
We all know pot is a gateway drug.
To Cheetos. Is that the hackiest joke of all time? I graduated to like ecstasy and mushrooms and acid at like 14.
Yeah, I wish I had your life. This sounds fun.
I mean, we both got to the same place.
It's true, that one fish show.
Yeah.
Where we both took drugs.
Yeah. So.
Oh man, I tell you, I was a nerd. I never did any of it.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Yeah.
We talked about it. I'm not a drug guy.
Nope.
And you're a drug guy. So what you're saying is you're the drug guy.
Yeah.
And that's how people see you. They see you as this fun drug guy.
I like showing people, like, hey, you can do drugs, and I do like showing people. But I like showing people you can do drugs and lead
and keep it together.
And keep it together.
And you were unable to keep it together.
So, yeah, but I still will say, like I said last time, I encourage you to do drugs if you can do it. Yeah, if you can't, it's...
Do you think if you had just done pot your entire life, there wouldn't have been a problem, or wasn't it graduating to like,
there would have been a problem with Cheetos.
Oh, God. By the way, we're sponsored by Cheetos this episode.
Cheetos and Squarespace dildos.
Double-sided Cheetos.
And yeah, Cheeto dildos.
What if Cheetos only have one side? That would be weird, huh? They're just flat on the end?
Yeah, it's impossible.
So you were thought of as the drug guy, and you were worried about the reaction that it would get when it came out. And I remember you texted me, and this is not too hard to remember because it just happened a couple of weeks ago. And my memory's, okay, so yeah, I'm able to retain stuff like that.
Doing drugs your whole life.
But you texted me the night before it came out, and you were worried about it, and you said that. And I said, "Why are you worried? I think people will be supportive."
This was just my first public, my coming out about what's been going on.
Right.
And so that you're naturally going to be a little anxious about people's perceptions.
How was the reaction?
It was fine. People were meaner about the stuff they're already mean about.
Like what?
Like people on this message board that I said "fuck you" to, they're just like, you're bad at fish, you're a moron, and you're not funny.
You're bad at fish?
Yeah. I'm like, all right, I'm fine with that. That's
so the normal stuff of you're not funny, this show sucks.
Yeah, so I'm fine with that.
Right. But they were supportive about the...
Yeah, everyone was... I got a lot of messages from people that were like, I'm glad you said that. I've been dealing with the same shit, and that's, I'm going to try to stop now.
I got a lot of messages, too, about thank you for your honesty. It seemed like it was a very It was almost the first emo podcast.
Yeah, for us to do. For Earwolf, at least. You guys create comedy, you don't talk about it.
But we were very sincere.
Yeah.
To recap the last episode a little bit, Harris, since we first started doing this show years and years ago, we've gone through some changes. Harris no longer does drugs, and I now do them all the time, and I like fish. So we've changed bodies or something.
It's a classic 3-act structure.
It really is.
Yeah.
So why continue?
Well, because they released this new album, and I thought it'd be fun to analyze it with you.
Sure. Let's do it then. Let's talk about what happened here. Fish put out a record. They don't put out records, I thought. They just tape all their shows.
No.
Have they ever put out a record before?
They put out many records.
Really?
They have a lot of studio albums. I played you studio tracks before.
I don't think so.
That's the misconception. Now,
I don't think I'm missing concepting anything.
You're missing this concept.
They put out records.
Yeah. They put out...
When's the last time they put out a record?
White Tape, Junta, Lawn Boy...
Are you speaking a different language right now? Or are you speaking
Picture
Zulu?
of Nectar, Ice. Yeah.
Rico Suave.
So the last time they put out a record was called Joy. It was the record they put out...
Joey?
Joy. Joy Fatone.
Announcer of the Family Feud?
Yes. They put out this record called Joy that it was a little like easy listening for some people's taste.
When you say that, do you mean it's like Muzak?
It was like
elevator music?
Like dad rock or something.
Oh.
And also like Trey had just gotten sober and he was writing a lot of songs about like, and I like a lot of the songs on that album, but you know, one of the lyrics is like, got a Cliff Bar and some cold green tea. You know, he's just like...
That sounds a lot like your normal Fish lyric.
Okay, fair enough. It actually does it because it was like more true. They rarely sang about like
actual circumstances.
Yeah, except for Train Song, which we've made fun of before.
Right. Choo choo.
Yes.
So, by the way, when you listen to that record now, as someone who is recovering, does it speak to you?
I haven't listened to it.
Dust it off again.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's probably... What I like about this album, this new one, is that it's kind of a return to form for this. There's some silliness in it. They're not taking themselves so seriously.
So what we're gonna do on this show is you're gonna play me this record.
I'm not gonna play it for you in order. I'm gonna take you on the journey I want you to go on.
So you're gonna resequence this record the way that you think that it should be?
Yeah, not the way Fish and Bob Ezrin produced it. Who did Pink Floyd and some other cool shit.
Metallica?
Yes. I think he did a great job on this album.
Do you think it's better for Ezrin?
Better than Ezrin?
I don't know.
I think
our guest is giving a double thumbs up on that one.
Bobber than Ezrin. Bob Ezrin.
Okay, so that's what people are going to hear on this particular show. So you're going to play me. Now, bear in mind, when we first or last left you, I'm more receptive to Fish than ever before. I, in fact, said that I would go to a show and not tape it.
I'm trying to undo all of that.
By the way, did any of your friends that we went to the show with, did they listen to the show?
Yeah.
Like Tall and everything?
Yeah, everyone listened.
What did
Marcus
they say?
was mad that I didn't list him in the names of people, even though he was like in the show a lot.
Right.
So Marcus, Matt Marcus, Eatsy Boys, Houston, here you are.
Hello, Matt.
Hi.
Hi, Marcus. You're getting a special shout out here. They thought it was an okay show, though?
Yeah, everyone seemed to like it. It was pretty epic. We went backstage, talked to Gordo. Even Gordo got in the mix.
Oh yeah, talk about this, because if you only heard the show, you may not know what happened that day.
Go listen to the other show. I'm done recapping.
No, this isn't a recap. This happened since the show, you fucking asshole.
Alright, fucking fine.
Mike Gordon, the bassist of Fish, whom we talked to in the show, and he talked about when he saw Paul F. Tompkins, he was shocked that he thought Paul F. Tompkins was the sock guy. And we asked him about that. He saw Paul F. Tompkins not knowing he was a comedian in the airport, wearing a pair of socks that were so multicolored and special, and spoke to him. He took a picture of it and sent it, to his assistant and said, I want socks like this. And when he saw Paul, he was like, the sock guy.
Yeah.
Was shocked to see him backstage.
Yeah. And
so then after we released this show,
he posted the picture, the famous sock picture that he took of Paul Tompkins at an airport. P.S. PFT. I usually hate when people travel on airplanes in suits.
Okay.
I think it's
that's a weird thing to hate, but okay, I'll go with you.
Like,
we all have to hate something.
I respect when Paul F does it for some reason because it like harkens back to a Mad Men-y type era. But usually it's like flying sucks. You need to get comfortable. Who are you trying to impress?
You think everyone should just fly around in their boxers and a t-shirt?
No, because that's like uncomfortable for different reasons.